Morning guys. Today I thought I'd do a little update on the 205. There's a lot of work going on with this car at the moment just because I've got a track day booked at the beginning of November. 2 days at Spa and a day at the Nürburgring, so if anybody's booked on at that you might see the car there. I don't want to take the Lambo. I did think about it. Lambo would be the ideal car for Spa. I'm not so sure about taking it on the Nürburgring, just a lot of risk. So I'm trying desperately to get the 205 ready, which I'm under no illusion that this probably isn't the best car for the likes of Spa, big leggy track. The 205's fast, but it's not the ideal car for big leggy tracks, but hey ho, it's what I've decided to do. So yeah, anyway, I thought I would do a quick update on the car just for anybody interested, because there is a lot of work going on with it at the moment, and it's pickling my brain big time, I'm not going to lie. It's hard work, really hard work. I've bit off more than I can chew, but I'm going to chew it anyway. So let me show you what's going on. So here we go. One thing I've always had with this car since putting the K20 turbo in, the front of this has always just kind of been thrown together. And now I'm making all this new bracket here, which runs right over here. And this is going to hold my grille nice and firm. And it's also going to hold all my headlights. So I did make this little bracket yesterday as well, which I thought I'd put my name and date on. Just a little bit cool, really. Just, again, adds to it. But my plan by the end of next week is to have all this in paint and looking all kind of spick and span, if you like. So, as you can see from previous videos, I put the BC Racing coilovers on it. I've bought my cage through from the inside, tied it all in to the strut tops, and then there's another bar as well behind this wing which ties it into the door pillar, which I also think is going to add you know, a good bit of strength. Obviously, I refurbished all this rocker cover. It's absolutely filthy under here at the moment. There's just dust everywhere. So, but that's a 5-minute job to get all that off. Now, the inside of this car is where it gets really interesting. It is, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to warn you now, it is an absolute mess in here at the moment. So when I originally did this car, I made the mistake of taking the really quick and easy route of painting the inside with just household gloss white paint, which it looked great, it looked fresh, it worked. But as it started to get a little bit tatty, I regretted putting it on. And now, as a result, I'm having to strip it all off, because if I want to prime and paint this thing properly, I can't put normal car paint, 2-pack paint, on top of this household paint. It will just react, it will look a mess, and it will look even worse than if I just went over the top of it again with what was there originally. So I've took the choice to strip every single bit of paint out of the inside of this car, which is an absolute nightmare. I did have a good friend, bless him. Thank you, Carlton. I am going to thank you now. He called down to see me the other day. Bless him. He only called down to say hello. He ended up going home, getting a load of tools, coming back, and really got stuck into this for me. And he spent, God, a good couple of hours on it and really made a good dent in it. So I'm really, really grateful to him for that. So let me show you what's going on in here. Oh my God, it's such a mess. So as you can see, it is a state. This is all bare metal now. The floor is bare metal. So I've had to put a hydraulic handbrake in there. Yeah, I know a few people are going to go, oh, it's a cheap, nasty hydraulic handbrake, but it's a bit of billet aluminium. If I need to change a cylinder on it, I will do. There's nothing wrong with the billet aluminium itself, but it's going to do the job. So because I changed the rear beam on this car for the independent suspension, I've had to fit that hydraulic handbrake because I'm running the Willwood calipers down there, which they will not work with the original handbrake, so I've had to put that in there. So yeah, my plan, there is a couple of little places inside here that physically need cutting out and welding, but my plan next week is to put a couple of door bars in there because I don't run door bars at the moment, so I'm going to run some door bars in there. You can see there where I've gone through the dash into the front. So my plan next week is to put a couple of door bars in there, just simple ones, and then prep all this and get it ready for paint. And as much as it looks like an absolute mess now, it's going to transform really, really quickly. I know that it's going to transform quickly, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Let me take it up in the air and I'll show you what I've been doing underneath. So here we go. So now we're underneath. Obviously, some of you will have seen this video where I put this suspension on. This is a suspension setup that was all custom made that I bought off of a X205 race car. It runs billet aluminium hubs, the Willwood brakes, and then all of this is all adjustable. It's a really nice setup. It's all a bit dusty and dirty at the moment. Nitron shocks, and yeah, everything here. So titanium bladed anti-roll bar, which again, it's all adjustable. It's all a little bit above my head. This is all gonna need setting up properly, but it should transform this car. Should be night and day with that on there. But as a result, so I'm not the kind of person to just go chucking this up on a grotty floor and just having done with it. So again, I've caused myself a lot of work here, but it's going to be worth it. So I've been stripping back all the paint off this floor completely back to bare metal. So this is going to get a coat of acid etch primer, and then on top of that will be some high build primer, and then I'm going to wrap to paint it. So I am going to be building a new fuel tank, which is going to sit just in this half of the car. Obviously the plan there is going to be that it offsets slightly my weight, and then above that is going to be my charge cooler tank. My charge cooler tank is pretty big, so I think that on this side combined with my fuel tank on this side should offset a little bit of my weight. So considering this car is as old as it is, it's not in bad shape. I have got a little bit of a repair to do up here, and a little bit of a repair to do there, but the rest of it, it's all really solid, so I can't grumble really. I think my plan as well, when I put the exhaust system back on this, I'm going to run it straight down the car and straight out the centre, just for ease really, and yeah, it's just a good excuse to make a new system for it, so that will work really, really well. So whilst I'm at it as well, I've got some new items to go inside the car. I have got to start rewiring this car. My pet hate with it is the wiring. The wiring is absolutely awful in this thing. It's the one thing that I haven't really touched throughout, so I need to start doing that. And my plan is, because I don't want to just delve into the wiring now, that would just be adding even more jobs onto the massive list of jobs I've already got to do. My plan is to wire the fuel pump in just on a separate switch through a relay and not kind of have it on the ignition. So that's where this little setup comes in. Now, I'm absolutely buzzing about this. So this is off Temu, and it was 75 quid. And I was thinking, to be honest, that it was going to be a little bit rubbish. And now I'm sure there's going to be people out there probably saying it is going to be rubbish, it's made in China. But a lot of things are made in China, and from looking at this, I think it's really good quality. Obviously, I've not tested it yet, but it's far better than I was expecting. So you get this whole list of stickers here, which you can use, which has got just about everything on there. Yeah, some cool ones. I really want to use this one. Don't know what for yet, maybe boost settings or something, but got to get that on there. And then this is pretty cool too. So, but I have bought this for a purpose, and that is to start running things like my fuel pump, and eventually I'll put my lights through it. I'll put everything through this. So it's such a tidy little setup. So all this as well, I was expecting this to be plastic, but it's not. It's all aluminium. So the feel of it and the quality of it is really tidy. So when you pop the top off there, it's all fused inside here. You've also got like a warning light if anything trips. So you can just run everything into there, and then it all works off of this keypad, which again, this is all aluminium. So it's not cheap plastic, which is what I thought I was going to get. All aluminium, and these buttons, they feel really nice. Also comes with this cut-off switch as well, which again is really nice quality. And then it's already pre-wired, really easy. It's got a wire there as well, which I'm assuming is like a ignition live type wire. There's a bracket in here for mounting this into the dash, and then they even send you kind of a power lead and earth lead, some cable ties. If you want to be really lazy, you can use this, and you can run this straight into an existing fuse box, which again is also pretty cool. There's a little bit of hardware in there, and then they even send you a screwdriver. So like I say, for 70 odd quid, I'm really impressed with this. I ordered it on Monday and it came 2 days later. So whether or not it was in the UK already in kind of UK stock, I don't know. But if that actually came from China in 2 days, well, then I'm absolutely amazed. I've also just had, so I ordered this as well. So I get that is a kind of kill switch, but that is obviously for all this system. I want to put an actual battery kill switch in. I'm a sucker for something that looks a bit pretty, and this has just turned up this morning. I spotted this one on Amazon, and it wasn't the cheapest kill switch in the world, but I think it's going to be worth it. How nice is that? So this is all digital, so it's going to light up in there. It'll give you your volts. You obviously knock it off, and then you twist it to turn it on, and like I say, it lights up. And it comes with, again, some brackets, some hardware, some instructions. That is going to look really posh. All this lot combined in that car is going to be a really nice setup. I'm really, really excited to get all this fitted. I've also got shuffle over here. So this is going to be my battery for in the car. It's just an Odyssey gel battery. That's going to be what's going to power it all. So save a little bit of weight over a standard size battery, and it's going to be ample for doing what I need it to do. So my plan now is to pull this bar off, just tidy up a few of these welds here, and make some little end caps just to go on the end of there, just to tidy it up. I'm being overly fussy with this, but if I'm going to do it, I want it to look nice. So I'm going to make some end caps for there, an end cap for there, and then I'm going to prime this bar, and I'm going to paint it just so that this bit here is stainless. These are all mild steel, so I don't want them rusting. So I'm just going to prime the lot, and I'm going to paint it. I think I'm going to paint that red. I know the car's white. You think, why would you paint that red? But I just think it'd be nice if it's got a little bit of colour on it. Got a little bit of colour in, you know, other places like this, and obviously the red pinstripe down the side. So I think a couple of red bits just tucked away are not going to look bad. So yeah, I'm going to whip that off and make those end pieces, get it primed, painted, and leave it to dry, and then I can put it back on. So there we go. That is that bar all finished. Well, I say all finished bar paint. So I've just capped off these little ends, made that look, well, I think relatively tidy. It's not perfect, but I think it looks really good. And that is going to hold my lights, my grille, and even my intercooler bolts to that. So nice little bar there, which I didn't have previously. I'm going to get this sprayed now, just in some etch primer, and I'm going to paint it, and I think it's going to look really tidy. Right, I need to go up to Chirk Auto Paints now and get some etch primer, because I'm cutting this plate, which is now going to go in here, just to kind of gusset, if you like, which is going to sit in there. I need to fill this hole where the cage goes through the bulkhead, a bit like what I've done on that side over there. But it's no good me making these plates without acid etch priming the underside and stuff, because otherwise they'll just rust. So I'm going to go get some etch primer, get back, and I can cut the strengthening holes for that plate, swage them in, get that welded in place, and that's another job ticked off the list. Right, I'm going to go up to Chirk Auto Paints and get this etch primer. Got out of my grotty clothes. The joys of coming to work in the Lambo. You'd have thought by now I'd have bought a pair of overalls for just when I'm in the workshop. Get absolutely filthy in the day. Anybody else that does welding, fabrication, probably even garage work, for example, and other jobs obviously, just know how filthy you get throughout the day, which is all great until you come to jump in your clean car, and then you haven't got a spare pair of clothes to change into, or you're wearing a pair of overalls. It can get a bit bloody messy. I'm going to have a word with them as well while I'm up in Chirk, just about how I'm best off putting this etch primer on underneath the car, whether I'm better off doing it with a gun, which I'm sure the painters of you out there will be saying, yeah, no, definitely do it with a gun. But because I'm doing small areas at a time, I'm almost wondering if it's worth just getting a load of tins of acid etch primer and kind of doing the patches I'm doing, priming it. I'm going to be going over it all with like a high build primer at the end, but yeah, it's not really something I'm that used to doing, the kind of paint side of it. So do I just get all the work done and then prime it all, and then obviously go on to the paint after the prep work, or just kind of do bits of primer as I go along? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I'll have a word with them up there and see what they say. Check auto paints. I got these bits painted up yesterday, and I'm really happy with how they've come out. This bar has been on the car since I built it, and I kind of just left it in mild steel, so over time it rusted and just didn't look great. So I finally got round to rubbing that down yesterday, giving it a coat of etch primer, and then this is just Hammerite smooth red paint, and the finish on it, you can see it's actually really good. And this stuff's pretty hard wearing, I think, so it's going to be ideal. And then this one, which is obviously the bar that I've recently made, again, just etch primed it, and a little bit of red Hammerite spray. Obviously, I didn't want brush marks in it, and I think the pair of them look really fresh. Really happy with how they've come out. Obviously, I'm going to be repainting all the front of this in Raptor white, all the front panel. So I think with that fresh and the red bars, I think it's going to look ideal. I've also ordered, so I've had these on for a while, and as you can see, just on the edges, I've caught them over time and they've chipped away and stuff like that. So with this being a phase 2 car, it would normally have clear indicators on it. I kind of went through a bit of a phase of wanting the whole kind of retro look on it, and which is when I put the ambers on it, and I think they worked well. They looked really well for a certain amount of time, but because I need to replace them now, I've chosen this time to put the clears back on it, because that's what it would have had on it. So that's what I'm going to go back with, and it's going to make the front look really fresh. So I'm in the middle of, at the moment, I've just made, where have I put it? Here it is. I've just made this panel. So cut it, I've pressed the holes into it. I've got a little dimple die thing that presses the holes in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that gusset just in there, like so. And that's going to just give, it's only thin metal, so it's not going to give a great deal of support, but it'll do something. And then I've just got to fill this hole in here, just where the roll cage goes through the dash. So I'm going to do that this morning as well, get that welded in. And then with a bit of a rub down at the front here and under the arches, this front section is going to be ready for the Raptor, and then I can start to bolt things back on with the intention of not needing to take them back off again. I've got all new brake discs, brake pads. I've got new 309 bottom wishbones. I run 309 wishbones on this just for the extra track width. I've got all those brand new to go on this, track rod ends. I rebuilt the steering rack on it a few years ago with Quaife quick rack stuff, so that's all done. I'm not got to bother with that. But the rest of it is all brand new, so that's going to be really nice. So it's going to look really, really nice under here. Once it's all painted, I can then put stuff on and know that it's staying on. So I'm going to crack on now, get this piece welded in. So that's that gusset welded all in. Next thing we're going to do is fill in this hole back here. If I remember last time what I did, it was quite a while since I did the other side, but I cut this in 2 sections. Cut quite a large section which came kind of down here, and then I cut another section just slide up behind there. I'm going to be seam sealing all this. This isn't really going to add any real strength. It's just real cosmetic and to stop some water getting through. So going to cut some plates, get them welded in, and I can get that seam sealed up then. And so I'm masking all this off, and my plan is to paint this red. You're not even going to see it. You're not going to see it. The wing's going to be on. It's going to be completely covered. But, I don't know. I'm just thinking with the rest of it white, that will look nice behind there in red. I don't know.
Gut feeling says...
It is. It's one of those. It's a gut feeling. Something's telling me to do it red. So I'm doing it red. And I think it will look nice. So I'm going for it.
To be continued.
Yeah. So that, now, I've painted, again, just with red, gloss red Hammerite. Looks a bit of a mess at the moment, just got this masking tape everywhere, but that's going to look really tidy. I have seam sealed all under here, so I took all the seam sealer off this and all the paint and everything because I've seam welded all this, and obviously now I've just seam sealed over the top of what I've welded in preparation for paint, really. Obviously I'll strip the coilovers off. I've got new track rod ends to go on it. I've got new discs to go on it. I've got new bottom arms to go on it. I'm going to take these drive shaft boots off and repack them with some high temperature grease. And I'm probably going to just paint up the drive shafts as well. Again, it's all stuff that doesn't need doing, but it's going to make all the difference. I've got these new bottom arms. Everything to go on the front here is going to be new. So I'll let this seam sealer set now overnight, and then in the next couple of days I need to do the same with the other side, and then in the next couple of days this is all going to be ready to Raptor. Marley, what are you eating? You're like a little hobbit down there. Huh? It's going to look so fresh and tidy. God, it is absolutely hammering down out there. It's nice to be in here in the dry. Saying, Marley. Is it nice to be in the dry? Or are you going to go out and get wet? Don't know, do you? So, there we go. I've pulled the tape off. I mean, I think that looks wicked. You're not going to see it. Obviously the wing's going to be on there, so you're not going to see it, but I know it's there, and I don't know, I've got the chance to do something with it, so I think that looks better than it just being white and boring. So obviously I'm going to raptor all that, so it's going to stand out like a sore thumb behind the wing, but yeah, I think it works. I've took the time as well. God, this rain on this roof is hammering down. So I've bolted these front crossbars on as well, just to have a quick look. So obviously I'm going for a similar kind of theme with them. Just I think they look nice in red. So this section here is all going to be Raptor, and then all the inner wings and stuff like that, I'm going to do those in 2-pack paint, so they're not going to be Raptored. I have now also finished that section there, done that this morning, just that's all welded in now, done back there, seam sealed the hell out of it, and so there's no holes now through into the cabin. So yeah, it's all starting to take shape. I'm happy. I'm really happy with how it's coming on. So I'm going to leave this small update video there for now. I think we've made good progress on this car. As the week goes on, I'll be doing more and more, so should see some good progress on this throughout the week, but I really need to push on and get this ready for the end of the month. If this car isn't ready by the end of the month, then I need to seriously think about putting an exhaust box in the Lamborghini, because that won't pass noise testing on Spa. I don't know if there's noise testing on Nürburgring, I'd imagine there is, but I don't really want to take that on the track day, but I'm not going to lose my track day. So yeah, this needs to be ready by the end of the month, because I need to be taking this to a track, Alton Park, Anglesey, either or, whatever. I need to be taking this and having a bit of a tester day in it, because the last thing I want to do is get all the way out to Spa and then find a silly little issue that could have been sorted before we left. So that's why I'm so keen to get this boxed off by the end of the month, just to give me a couple of weeks to do anything that needs doing before we head out to Spa. If you've got this far in the video, thank you very much, and I do appreciate it. Do us a favour, hit subscribe, and give us a thumbs up as well. And yeah, I'll see you soon in my next video. Thanks.